I believe bass are a lot like us humans, meaning the fact that we're opportunistic feeders. While we might really, our favorite thing might be a jack cheeseburger, or it might be a steak from Outback. If you're sitting there at night and you're full, and your precious wife is cooking you a meal like mine does, and you're sitting there and you're full, and you're sitting in your recliner, and all of a sudden you look over there and there's a Hershey's Kiss laying on the table beside you, there's a Hershey's Nugget, or there's a Kit Kat, or whatever you like. Even though you ain't hungry, you're sitting there looking at that, and the more you look at it, the more you think, boy, sure would be good right now. Sooner or later, if you're hungry, you're going to take a bite. I believe that bass are a lot the same way, but I believe that in lakes like, say for instance, a lake that's more forest-based, is minnows, redfins, blue gizzard shad, whatever it may be. If that fish is laying there and there's a big old fat crawdad goes swimming by and he gets there to sucker up, he's going to do it. I do believe that a lot of times in spring they feed more heavily on crawfish because it's ironic that a lot of the fish I catch, when I'm in practice for tournaments or I'm in tournaments, the first thing I'm going to do when I get that fish in the boat, outside of saying thank you Lord, I'm going to look down at that fish's throat, because if he's been eating something and it's sticking down his throat, I want to know what he's been eating. If it's a shad been his tail, if it's a crawfish, I want to know what he's been eating, because I want to see what the color, the best I can of that, whatever he's ate is. I'm going to match my bait to whatever he's been eating. Well, that being said, what I love so much about the jig is obviously it is the #1 crawfish imitator in the springtime. And more times than not, in the early spring, when those fish start pulling back to where they're going to bed at, when I get on those like 45-degree rock banks or those small stretches of bluff banks that have rock slides and stuff like that on them, a jig is just a very efficient way of being able to cover the water column, cover it thoroughly, and when a good one's there, a lot of times he's going to choke it and he's going to eat it. With that being said, all the jigs on the market, I have used literally about every one of them commercially made. I'll be honest, I got to a point, they're all good, but I got to a point 2 years ago, you can ask my wife, she was like, honey, why are we spending like a couple of $100 on all those jig molds when you can go buy them, you can go buy whatever jig? I said, because none of them are what I want. And she said, you're that OCD about it. I said, a lot of you that follow the Bassmaster Elite Series, y'all heard Brandon Lester, that used to fish out the mudhole boat. Brandon's our son. Brandon is probably the only one outside of me that's more OCD about jigs than I am. And he and I put our heads together and we were like, you know what, if we can't find exactly what we want, we'll make it. So we got a friend of ours that does welding and metal fabrication. So what did we do? We went and bought jig molds and had them modified so we could put the hook we wanted, the weed guard we wanted, and make what we wanted instead of trying to get something else and modify it and do all that. Well, I did that for a couple of years, and then this year, we were blessed and we got called last fall from Buckeye Lures. And I had actually used a lot of Buckeye Lures over the years because I liked them. I liked their spot remover jig heads. I liked their spinner baits, the buzz baits. I liked a lot of different things. But when Buckeye reached out to us, we partnered with them mainly for two main reasons. One, we love their Christian values as a company, their family values, their moral values of getting kids and young adults in fishing. Number two, when they called me, they said, look, we want you to be heavily involved in lure design. We want you to help us design our jigs, design our baits. They said, if you've got a bait you want built, or if you've got one that you build that you want copied, we'll make it for you. I was like, hey, we got a no-lose situation here. Well, I went with Buckeye. Why do I go with Buckeye? Because there's very few companies in the fishing industry that in their jigs that they make living rubber skirts on anymore. Most all jig companies go with silicone from the factory because it's faster, it's more efficient. Most of them don't go with living rubber anymore, and I'm old school, like I told you. But I can tell you this, if you take a jig made out of silicone skirts and you take one with living rubber, and you put them out in a swimming pool or the lake or wherever, anywhere where you got any kind of natural current moving or a little bit of water current moving, you lay that silicone jig by a living rubber jig, and that living rubber is going to have 3 times the action that you don't have to impart to it. Why do I like that? Because I want it as lifelike as I can possibly get it. So when I'm not moving it, it's looking natural and it's sitting there doing its thing. With that being said, Buckeye makes actually they make 9 different jigs. But the 3 main ones that I focus on for the early spring time of the year, If you've ever heard of Buckeye, y'all heard of the mop jig. It's the one that Davey Hine helped design several years ago. So I use the mop jig. It is the living rubber model. I also use, we got a new one out that's called a flat top finesse jig, and it's got a flat top head design, but it's got a little heavier wire hook in it than most finesse jigs, so you can put a beefier trailer on it, and you can beef it up a little bit. You don't have to worry about the hook flexing on you on a good fish. But the jig right here, the third one, this is the one that when I'm out there 90% of the time, this time of year, this is the jig right here that I'm gonna go with, unless I flip it up under docks and stuff like that. If I'm fishing on 45-degree angle wall, if I'm fishing bluffs, if I'm fishing riprap banks, or brush, this is the jig I'm gonna go with. What is this jig? How many of you have heard Gerald Swindle? Most of y'all, if you've ever went a hook or ever watched a video, y'all know Gerald. Gerald designed this jig from Buckeye, and actually when I got my very first ball and mount jig, they came from Gerald. But I like this ball and mount jig. This actually is one that does have silicone skirts on it from the factory, but when I fish it, I actually take the factory skirt and I actually mix living rubber in, and I throw a living rubber skirt on it. But why do I like this ball and mount jig? If you're like me, yes, I've got like 72,000 boxes in my boat. I do. Because in a competitive world we live in today, fishing against the best guys in the world, if you don't have a little bit of everything, you're going to get your eyes kicked in. A lot of times you can throw it, you're still going to get your eyes kicked in. But anyway, I'm going to have it and I'm going to try to throw it when I need it. But I love to simplify things. And if I can get everything into one possible kit or one possible jig that I can, I love doing that. That's what I love about this ball and mount jig. It has a round ball head design, but it comes through rocks grate, comes through wood grate, because the angle of the line tie on the head of it. And also the weed guard on this jig it's hard to find a jig a lot of times that the weed guard is not too stiff or not too flimsy. And a lot of times they make a real stiff one and you have to cut strands out the front and the back. But this right here, I fish it just like it is straight out of the package. I don't have to modify it. I don't have to do it. The third thing about this jig, the hook in it. I don't know if you can see from back there, but the hook in this jig, and you're more than welcome to go up here and look at it when I finish up. The hook in this jig is a shorter shank hook than a lot of jigs on the market, but it's a heavier gauge steel, but yet it's not heavy enough that if you make a long cast fishing out offshore with this jig and one bites it, most times all you got to do is lean into the fish and he is stuck. And that's what I love about this hook, but yet it's a heavy enough steel that if I hook a big fish up there around a brush pile or something, and he's trying to dig down in that brush pile, I can lean on him and put pressure on him, and I can manhandle him without having to worry about this hook flexing on him. As far as jig trailers and colors and sizes, I personally like to use, size-wise, I like to use the smallest size that I can get away with and still feel it, even in the wind. You awake? Hey, boy, to sleep yet, brother? I get wild with a little casting in here. I hit the dock up here. I'm gonna Sorry about that, I done get wild. I done backlash, I done slapped the dock up here. This is a forward rod reel. Don't worry about that later. Anyway, what I was getting at, as far as the jig sizes, I like I said, I like to use the smallest I can get away with, because I believe that makes it more natural. And in the wind, obviously, I'll maybe go up a little bit of size, but 90% of the time on this jig, I'm using either 3/8 or a 1/2. I will go up to a 3/4 if I'm fishing, say 20 feet deep, we got a little bit of wind and stuff, I will do that. But predominantly it's 3/8 and 1/2. And as far as line size, I am of the mindset that I want to put the odds in my favor. With that being said, yes, a lot of times you do get more bites, put like 12-pound test or something like that. I'm gonna start out with 20-pound test whenever I can get away with it. If I'm practicing a 20-pound test and I'm getting like 3 bites a day, a lot of times I'll bump down to 15 to get me a few extra bites. But I'm with the mindset I want to put the odds in my favor. That fish knows what's down there better than I do. When I jerk on him, I want his butt to be in the boat before he knows what's happened to him. You know what I mean? But the 3/8 1/2, the line size, like I said, 20 or 20-pound fluorocarbon. I never use mono anymore unless I use it on top water or put it on a leader for a top water. I'm a straight fluorocarbon or braid man about 90% of the time. But in this, I use a vicious 15 to 20-pound test. I use either the fluorocarbon or the Pro Elite fluorocarbon. It's actually about the same line. We just offer a little different pound test in one versus the other. But for 90% of the applications, I'm gonna try to use 20 because I love to be in control of the fish. As far as colors, now, if you get your notepad out, you might wanna write this down. We're gonna get sophisticated when it comes to colors. Did y'all hear the sarcasm in that? We're gonna get real sophisticated. If my water visibility is at least a foot and a half, I'm gonna go green pumpkin and brown 90% of the time. Or I'm gonna go straight brown with a green pumpkin trailer. Now boy, that's deep, isn't it? Brown and green pumpkin with a green pumpkin trailer or a brown trailer, or brown and green pumpkin. As far as the trailer, as far as the other color, if it gets dirtier where I can't see but maybe 6 inches or a foot, then I'm gonna get real extravagant and go solid black with a blue trailer. Why? Because everywhere I've ever been in the country, it works. That's why. You say, well, what if you get behind people? That don't bother me none. Why? Because that's right here. People get spun out when they get behind people, and that's what we're going to talk about in a minute. If you don't believe right here that you're going to catch it, you ain't going to catch it. If you believe right here that it don't matter what's going on, that you're going to catch it, chances are you're going to get bit. If there's a way to do it. But brown and green with green pumpkin trailer or brown trailer, and when I get real sophisticated, I'll pull out my orange or my red marker and I'll paint his little tips a little bit if I see a crawfish sticking out the throat with the orange or red claw. But that's about as sophisticated as I get. I operate on the KISS system, KISS. It stands for Keep It Simple, stupid. That's what I operate on. Now then, the rod setup, this particular rod is very funny because I got that here to show. I'm currently, Dyer was trying to send all my rods and reels to me for the year because they're customizing the wind grips, making me a custom line of rods this year. And when I got down here, the rod he had that I could borrow was 7.3 multi-purpose. I said, it's actually the rod I use doing this technique. How about that? But yes, to do this technique, with these couple of finesse jigs, this falling out jig, mop jig, I use a 7.3 multi-purpose. This is a Dyer with a Tula Elite rod. It's got a nice soft tip to it, and it's got the backbone to it that you can drive the hook home, you can battle the fish, you can manhandle and do what you need to do. It's 7'3", medium heavy. It's and actually this rod is you can buy this rod all day long for anywhere from 129 to 169 bucks. Why did we make this rod with Dyer? Because we wanted people that were on a blue collar budget, as I like to say, that maybe don't have the $500 or $600 to spend on rods. We want you to be able to get that grade of rod at an everyday working man's price. That's why we designed this Tula Elite line. Reel wise, I use a lot of people say we play to use the Dyer Zillion, the Dyer Steeds, which is like Dyer's top end, reels. They're great reels. I personally use the Dyer SBTW. Again, 169 bucks. Average price all day long. Why do I use them? Because when they designed that reel, they put a new magnetic braking system in there that is absolutely incredible. When you get the magnets tweaked just right on it, when you make the cast out there as far as you want to throw, the way this reel is designed, I never have to put my lip on the spool because the spool will not overspin enough to backlash the reel. They were the first reel that I ever saw to do it. Now, if you back the brake all the way off, yeah, it'll overspin just like any of them will. But when you fine tune it and tweak it, it is very hard to backlash to hit that reel. As far as the reel speed, I always put an 8-to-1 on, the high speed I can get. Dyer just started making a 9-to-1, and I'm like, man, we got a rocket coming out there. But 8-to-1 or 9-to-1, I use a high-speed reel for obvious reasons. I want to be able to, when I fish that bait in, I want to be able to get the bait in as fast as possible I know you may think I'm being anal when I say this, but every second, literally, in our national tournament, I try to conserve every second I can from one cast to the next, because seconds add up to minutes, minutes add up to hours. And when we got 8 hours on the water and we're trying to compete, I want every possible advantage I can get. So I use the 8 to 1 plus when I set the hook on the fish. If he's coming at me, I'm not going to be like I can and run and jump from the front of the boat to the back of the boat. I'm short-legged. My wife says I got long, sexy legs. As long as she says that, I don't care what any other woman says. But I got short legs, and I don't want to be running from the front to the back, so that's why I like to use the high speeds. Oh, let me thank you. We covered the jig size, we covered jig color, we covered trailer. Actually, trailer, that's what I was about to forget. And another thing that I like, we're about to get it on trailer, and I'll show you again on this jig. Part of the trailers on any jig I fish, but especially with these, I go with 1 or 2 trailers. Zoom, I've been with Zoom for like 10 years, and Zoom makes an extensive line of trailers. If you look, they make fat apple twin tails, tap tails, they make a little swamp crawler grub, big salty, little salty, pro chunk, and they make any chunk of man you want. What I try to do is keep it very simple. I'm going to have 1 trailer that's going to have movement to it, so I get water displacement and vibration. I'm going to have 1 trailer that's very subtle for cold water when the fish are real finicky, real lethargic. What is that? Well, if I'm fishing a 3/8, a quarter to 3/8, maybe a half ounce jig, like that balling out, I'm going to have the Zoom Z-Crawl Junior. If I'm fishing a bait a little bit bigger, like a, just knock it down to the floor, right? I'm on the roll. I'm not going to bag the floor this morning. We're good. Why do I use this Z-Crawl Junior trailer on this size bait, or the Z-Crawl, the bigger Z-Crawl, like a half or 3/4 ounce size? I'm going to show you all this as I get a hold of it here. I'll palm my finger. Y'all can see my arm is round. It ain't flat. Can y'all see how that jig is sitting up vertical on my arm until I pull it over? You can see that jig is sitting pretty much straight up and down on my arm. Why do I use that trailer? For that reason. Because a crawfish on the bottom, when you're watching a crawfish swimming in an aquarium, their natural posture is to be upright like that, flat, with the claws on the bottom. Everybody knows that. It's no secret. With that bait right there, with that trailer, with that Z-Crawl Junior trailer, when I've got that bait on the bottom, it helps that bait to sit straight up. Instead of falling over on the side one way or the other, which also helps you end up getting hung up when it does that. So I like it to be able to sit straight up. That trailer helps that. The other trailer that I use on that is on the smaller jigs when I want that very subtle fall with no vibration and very little movement, is a Super Chunk Junior, which a lot of people refer to as the rabbit ear chunk. It's got the little wide flat flappers coming out the back with a small square head on it. A lot of people take that chunk and just hang it on the jig like the old style port chunks. I do not ever do that. I always thread mine up, and I'll always stick the hook point out, and most people will go out the top, I go out the bottom. I go out the bottom and I put the hook point right out between the flappers and the back. And I shove it up on the jig. Why? Because that flat design head does the same principle as that. It helps the jig to sit upright on the bottom. It actually helps it to tilt where the claws will stick up upright. Color-wise, again, like some of y'all just walked in, I'm real sophisticated with colors on my jig trailer. I keep green pumpkin in the boat, I keep watermelon, I keep sapphire blue, and I keep June bug, 4 colors. Why do I keep 4 colors? Y'all see how many fingers are on my hand? I get confused if I get any more than that. Really and truthfully, I use 4 basic colors because I have never, in all my years of fishing, I have never seen a crawfish or a minnow swimming around that's watermelon purple gold magic. If any of y'all has ever seen one, please show me what they look like, because I've never seen them. Crawfish, I've seen green pumpkin, I've seen brown with a little bit of red or orange on their claws, I've seen when they molt, they turn like a bone color, and I've seen them black with a little bit of blue on their claws. I ain't never seen one that's some gold, green, purple, gold, yellow, something does. Do they look pretty? Yeah, they look pretty. Do they catch fish? Yeah, they catch fish. But I don't want 79 different ones in my boat when I'm digging through them trying to find the one I want. That's why I'm going to keep about 100 or 4 different colors in there, because I know in fishing, Florida, New York, Michigan, anywhere in between. If I match the right, if I'm around the fish, and I present the bait the way the fish wants it presented, one of those colors is gonna work. They've worked for 2,000 years, and they'll work again. There's a reason I like to put it like this. The good Lord knew what he was doing when he made this. God knew what he was doing making this earth. He knew what he was doing when he made the fish, and made all the creatures, and made their food. I'm going to throw what he made. I'm going to throw the colors he made. He knows what he's doing. Am I trying to get religious with you? No. I'm trying to be real with you. I'm about relationship. I ain't about religion. My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's why I believe in this stuff right here. That's why I believe in vicious fishing line. That's why I believe in Dyer rods and reels. Because like my faith in the Lord, they've never let me down. Anybody got any questions before we go any further? Anybody? Come on now, this is the fun part. Don't be bashful. Y'all sitting here like,
Unless you got orange line on your reel.
orange line? That is totally because I had to borrow it. I've got about 80 spools of fishes hanging in my shop, and my memory's about as long as my finger. And when we left the other day, I forgot to grab a spool, and I didn't have a rod. So when I grabbed the rod out there and it didn't have no line, I said, I got to go find some line. So there we go. I got orange line. I promise you, I ain't Auburn fan, so that's anybody in here Auburn fans? Where? You like Crimson Tide is one of them crowd. You know what you can, you know what only an Auburn can do? Huh? No, I got one better for you than that. With Auburn orange, you can go deer hunting, go to prison, go to ball game in the same day and never change clothes. I still love you. That's gonna pick on you. Anybody else got any questions? If not, we're going to move on to the last topic that I'm going to hit on very briefly. But I want to say it like this. First of all, thank you all for y'all's support of what we all, the dream we all chase. I'm truly blessed that I've been able to live this dream for going on 22 years. My ultimate dream, obviously, is like everybody else. I want to be a Bassmaster Classic champion. I want to be an Angler of the Year. I want to make the elites. I know the real purpose, along with that, of why I do what I do. As much as I want to win, as much as I want to be a champion, I know when I get in that boat, my real reason is to tell people about my Lord and Savior. And I tell you right now, I'm old enough, I'm not ashamed of it. A lot of people are always worried about, well, Clay, you're going to offend somebody. Well, you know what? I might get offended if somebody don't want me to talk about my Lord. I'm not ashamed. I will be my wife for full-time ministers, but we do it out of passion and out of love. I tell people like this, you get in the boat with me, guess what? I'm going to get far enough off the bank, you can't get on the bank, you stuck with me right now. Right now, huh? What's the other song? Hey, you like me now? Well, there you go. But with that being said, I believe we are at a point, and it's not just because of guessing, it's because I see it. We're at a point in this fishing industry, just like this young man sitting down on the front row up here, these young people. We're at a point where I have prayed that fishing would get to for a long time. We're at a point where young folks can now get scholarships. We couldn't do that when I started. You know, we're at a point now where they can make a career out of it straight out of college, if they do it the right way. And that's the thing about it. It's what I'm going to finish up on. Do it the right way versus the wrong way. There is an etiquette, there is an attitude, and I have seen instances more and more in the last couple of years, and it's why I'm going to talk about it a little bit and finish it up, because it worries me. It's been heavy on my heart, because we have people out here now that I believe are trying to take the wrong attitude and the wrong approach. And if you do that, it's going to lead to the wrong things. But when you take the right attitude and the right approach, it's going to lead to success. But when you take the attitude and the approach of, I'm out to win at all costs, or you take the attitude or approach when you blast off that all you're worried about is winning the boat race, going down the lake, you're in it for the wrong reasons. And if that's the reason that you're in it for, then you need to take a self-check of the integrity of your heart. We had an incident happen this last week in Florida. We were down there at the Bassmaster Open. I won't call any names, because I actually don't know the gentleman's name, we're still investigating. But I had an incident this past week that it could have turned up. But a guy basically, I was the lead vessel coming out of canal after we locked through. And we come into a turn, I was the lead vessel, and he was supposed to have yielded to me, but I already slowed down, going in the curve, well, he tried to beat me in the curve and beat me on the inside, but his wave and his prop wash blasted us, me and my co-anchor, and literally put us in the edge of the rocks. And praise God, because we have a great dealership, they've got my boat and get it like brand new again, and we sustained some hull damage, and I'm just being real with you. Is the boat gonna be hurt at the end of the year? No, it's gonna be like brand new. But that gentleman's actions, because he was trying to outrun somebody else and get around him in a dangerous place, thank God there was nobody coming from the other way, because if they would have, somebody could have gotten seriously hurt or killed. With that being said, when you take off, it doesn't matter where you're going, it doesn't matter what fish you think you're going to, always remember safety, and always remember that no matter how much money's on the line, keep the right perspective. Because too many times in fishing, it's easy to lose that perspective when our competitive juices start flowing. The other thing that I will say in that is, and this is what really worries me more so than the water safety, because most people that get in this know how to drive a boat. Most people know how to handle the boating safety correctly. But out there on the water a lot of times, as fishermen, when we get on fish somewhere, we tend to want to take ownership of the spot. And there is no water anywhere in the country that's got our name on it that says this is Clay Dyer's spot, this is Clay Dyer's point. Yes, I get it if you've got a dock in the water, I get that. But still, the property line stops where the water line starts. I had an incident happen to me several years ago in Lakeview Falls, Alabama. I was down there practicing for an FLW event, went up in this pocket, and I saw this sign up there, and hand painted with spray paint, and it said, "No fishing in Marina Basin." Well, when I saw it, I didn't even fish the marina dock. I just fished the grass leading up in there. Well, I catch a 6-pounder and a 4-pounder. Well, needless to say, when I idled out and I saw the sign, I called the terminal director immediately. And this was in practice. I told him what the sign said. He said, "Where you at?" So I told him. He drove down there and got in the boat with me. I carried him out. I showed him the sign. He said, "Brother Clay," he said, "that does not have a Marine Police or State of Alabama seal." I said, "I'm not fishing the docks anyway." He said, "You're good to go." I said, "All right." So when I drew out the first day of the tournament, I drew out like 150 or something like that. Told the gentleman with me, I said, "Look," I said, "if anything is said," I said, "let me have it." I said, "I've done had the tournament director out here, we've already saw it, we're cool." We run down there, we're lined up across the mouth of this creek, there's about 7 boats, tournament boats, that were in our tournament. They were all sitting basically shoulder to nose from each other. But what did I do? I didn't want to bother none of them. Where I wanted to fish was 50 yards on the inside of them. So I went up behind them on patrol mode, and I told the gentleman, I said, "Look, I'm not trying to fish around y'all." I said, "Can I slide up in here?" He said, "Sure, buddy, go ahead." As soon as I slid up in there, because of what that sign said, I knew what was coming. Because everybody else saw that sign and thought, Clay Dyer's trying to cheat. I slid up in there and looked at every one of them. Well, I got the hawk on. I'm just waiting for the phone call. I'm just waiting on it. Well, I knew I was already in the right because I'd already talked to the tournament director. I go up there, very same hole I caught 4 pounds out of in practice. I flip my bait over there and bam, I catch 6.5 on the third flip I made. Boy, then they are all sitting there. I go out the boat length and I catch another one about 4.5 to 5. My co-angler dips it. When he dips it, I look up on the bank and I see this landowner come in. He's got the marks on him, on his eye. I said to myself, "Here we go." Well, I take it off and I'm getting the fish in the water and all his live well. I'm re-rigging my bait. I look up, I see this owner, boy, he got them arms. He's clenching that dock rating, son. He's staring me down. I mean, I done felt a hole burning through me. I look up, I said, "Good morning, sir."